Top stories from around the island. To the point. Without the fluff. Puerto Rico headline news. Please subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell notification.
Hello and welcome to Puerto Rico Headline News for March 21st, 2020. If this is your first time here on this channel, I ask that you consider subscribing, sharing, and liking this content. So let's go ahead and get into what's going on. The latest breaking news. The first death from the coronavirus, COVID-19, has been reported earlier this afternoon in Puerto Rico. That brings the total amount of number of suspected cases up to 21, with one confirmed death. So let's go ahead and get into this article. So the El Nuevo Dia is reporting today, this afternoon, coronavirus cases in Puerto Rico have increased today, Saturday, to 21 after the Department of Health and the Veterans Hospital received the results of various tests that they were waiting on, is what the Fortaleza reported. Now, the Secretary of Public Affairs, Osvaldo Soto, stated in written statements that the number of positive cases confirmed by the Department of Health is 10. While at the Veterans Hospital, they have 11 there. That brings it to a total of 21 cases on the island as of early this afternoon on Saturday. 21 total suspected cases. Now, these new positives that were added to the health figures are from 3 men who reside in the metropolitan region. One is 78 years old with no travel history. He hasn't traveled anywhere, so obviously that would be a community transmission for him. Then there's another person, 73 years old, with a travel history, and one 56-year-old who had contact with people from abroad, or tourists that were visiting here in Puerto Rico. Now, the figures were offered at a time when the death of the 68-year-old Italian tourist, if you remember, arrived in San Juan aboard the cruise ship Costa Luminosa, and it was confirmed this afternoon that she died. But she had been the first positive case of the coronavirus in Puerto Rico, and unfortunately has died. Now, the Veterans Hospital has conducted so far, just the hospital, 60 COVID-19 tests, of which 25 are so far negative, 11 are positive, and they're still waiting on 24 results. Of the 11 positive cases in the Veterans Hospital, only 2 people are hospitalized in that institution, so that's a little concerning. So they went to Veterans Hospital. There's 11 confirmed cases of the coronavirus, COVID-19, but only 2 of them are hospitalized. So I guess they might have sent the other 9 home for self-isolation. It doesn't really specify. Now, earlier, the National Guard General Jose Reyes confirmed to El Nuevo Dia that the number had risen to 17 positive cases, and that was, of course, earlier this morning. And currently, it's at 21. He continued to say the results of 52 tests are being waited on. Of those 52, the results of 3 that came back were positive. He reported in the telephone interview this morning. So now let's take a look at this graph on the suspected cases for Puerto Rico. So if you notice here, the first suspected case happened on the March 13th. So as of March 12th, there was 0 cases. March 13th, its first reported case, and that was the Italian tourist that was on the Costa Luminosa cruise ship. And now we find ourselves March 21st. We're up to 21 confirmed cases, and sadly, the person has died. So just about 8 days passed until from being diagnosed to dying here in Puerto Rico. And it's a nice visual to see, to understand a little bit more how these cases are um, growing. Now, going back to the article, more evaluations are taking place at the airports. As of today, the National Guard has medically examined 20,597 passengers who arrived at the Luis Muñoz Marin International Airport. Now, a call from the governor was made earlier this week to shut down the airports. Of course, that's a federal decision. It has to come from the federal government. She can make the suggestion. Um, After some evaluation on that request, some information came out where up to 90% of the supplies that reach Puerto Rico are flown in and are on these commercial flights. So essentially, if we were to shut down the airport in Puerto Rico, we would not be getting any supplies coming into the island. So that could be the reason why, or one of the major reasons why that action hasn't taken place yet. They really have to rethink that. I know on cruise ships, or I'm sorry, on cargo ships, can take up to 2 weeks to get here. So I don't know how food and vegetables and fruits would make out waiting that long to get here to Puerto Rico. So it seems like these flights into Puerto Rico will have to continue so that we don't run out of food. Now the article continues to mention, the close to 21,000 passengers that have so far been evaluated at the airport. 44 of them have gone under medical evaluation into triage to verify their symptoms. 9 were allowed to take the coronavirus test, and of those evaluated, 40 are kept in their homes in quarantine. So they're being quarantined. Now, Reyes indicated that since yesterday, about 500 members of the military corps began to do screening at the airports of Isla Grande, Aguadilla, and Ponce. So up till yesterday, those additional airports, smaller airports, were not being evaluated as passengers got off those planes. So it seems like it's going to begin today. Yeah, actually, it says here from today, and then tomorrow there will be some military corps at the Ceiba airport, and they'll begin evaluating passengers that arrive there. Now, he also noted that they've signed an agreement with the Medical Sciences campus of the University of Puerto Rico, the Ponce School of Medicine, and the Central University of the Caribbean for some 70 fourth-year medical students to also help out with the evaluation work along with the National Guard. So they're going to get some additional help to be able to do that. Well, that's pretty much the breaking news as of this afternoon. We'll probably have a lot more news come out either today or tomorrow, most likely. But again, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, I ask you to please do so. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I do release any breaking news. As soon as it comes in, I translate it, put it together, and release it. So please feel free to share this content as well. If you have family here in Puerto Rico, don't quite understand Spanish, the Spanish news stations here, please share with them. And thank you very much again. This is Puerto Rico Headline News.